don't know, it's the seventh Rocky movie. I guess we gotta do this again, huh? Creed is directed by Ryan Coogler and stars Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone. Now, Creed is the unofficial seventh installment in the Rocky series, and I say unofficial because it's really not. First of all, guys, I'm going to say I love the Rocky series. Maybe not Rocky 5, let's just pretend it doesn't exist, but Rocky 1 to 4 and then Rocky Balboa, I think they're some of the best movies ever made. Yes, Rocky 3 and 4 kind of get a little bit campy, Rocky 4 especially, but they're really, really tremendous films in my opinion, and so as a result, I was really excited to see Creed. Now, this movie, I think, had a lot of hype. It had a lot. I think it had a lot more hype than even Rocky Balboa did when it came out, because everyone was talking about this. Even the years when it was in development, everyone was talking about how much this was going to change it, how much this was going to be completely different than the other six, and boy was it, guys! I absolutely adored this movie. It was outstanding. I thought, and I'm not being over exaggerated. It was outstanding. I really, really loved this movie. So what's the plot? Well, without getting into spoilers, it's basically Michael B. Jordan plays Adonis Johnson, who was the illegitimate son of Apollo Creed. He was actually born after Apollo was killed in Rocky IV by Evan Drago, and so he grew up never really. Obviously he knew who his father was, but he didn't know him at all, and he was growing up in care homes, juvenile centres, and basically having a hard life of it until Apollo Creed's widow visits him one day and takes him in. From there, he grows up in a fairly privileged life, and he gets this really good job on the side. He boxes on the side, and one day he just decides he can't be doing this job anymore, so he quits and decides he's going to go pro. That takes him to Philadelphia, where he meets Rocky Balboa. Now, guys, this is the seventh installment in the Rocky series, unofficially, but it is the seventh installment, and I'll just say this right off the bat, Rocky is definitely not the focus of this movie. I can remember reading about some naysayers saying when this movie came out, or when it was about to come out even, they were saying, this is just going to be Sylvester Stallone trying to, plaster his face all over a movie again and trying to get his name in lights because it's set in the Rocky universe and it features Rocky as well. But that's really not the case with this movie, guys. I mean, now, fair enough, Rocky does show up about 15 minutes into the movie, which is a lot quicker than I was expecting him to show up, literally 15 minutes. And, yeah, Sylvester Stallone absolutely knocks it out of the park in this movie. In fact, I would go so far as to say this is his best performance as Rocky he's ever given. Now, guys, I'm not going to get into spoilers at all, and the plot synopsis that I just gave was pretty much a good indication of what you're getting with this movie. Now, some of the shots in this movie they're mind-blowing. I mean, there's at least two of the fights in the movie, they would seem to be all one take. Now, from what I saw of it, I myself, I can see that it was one take, and it really adds to the movie. It makes it more intense, and the fact that there's no cuts, it makes it feel like it's actually happening, and that's the mark of some brilliant camera work, and it adds to the storytelling as well, and it makes you really feel like you're actually in the audience and you're watching these fights go down. As well as Sylvester Stallone, I have to give props to Michael B. Jordan. And as Sylvester Stallone says, this guy is going to be, I think, a big star in Hollywood. Let's not talk about Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick, whatever you want to call it. He was brilliant as Adonis Johnson in this movie. Yeah, his character, it's a very, very broken character. You get that sense from the very beginning of the movie, when you see him as a young kid in this juvenile centre, you get the sense that he's a very broken person, and he doesn't really know what his place in the world is, and you know, for the majority of the movie, he doesn't even want to acknowledge that he's Apollo Creed's son because he wants to try and make a name on his own. And in a way, he sort of resents Apollo Creed because he is his illegitimate son. And, you know, he feels that Apollo Creed has sort of thrown that upon him. And that is one of the aspects of the story that really got to me. And it really made it very impactful. Now, guys, I said there's no spoilers, but a little bit of spoiler talk, so I'll put spoiler warning down here, and when it goes away, that's when it's over. So, basically, two main plot points in this movie that really got me there. You find out Polly has died, and I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons I was excited to see this movie because I thought they were going to get Burt Young back to play Polly, because Polly is one of the characters, you know, that everyone remembers from the Rocky movies, more so than Rocky and Apollo Creed and even Adrian. Everyone remembers Polly, so I was really excited to see him, and find out, of course, that he's died. And that was a really emotional scene when Rocky visits the gravesite with him and Adrian. In the grave beside each other, and that was a really sad scene. The other sad plot point of this movie is find out Rocky has cancer, and those were some really powerful scenes, I have to say. You know, in fact, at one point in the movie, the intercut, the intercut scenes of Rocky getting chemotherapy with Adonis helping him with Adonis training for his big fight, and those scenes were tugging at the heartstrings. They really did. They were really grounded in reality. They're, you know, that's one thing I'll say about this Rocky movie. Grounded in reality, gritty, urban. You know, anything you can think of to describe it, it's just so realistic. I would say it was probably the most realistic of the Rocky movies we've had yet. Overall, guys, this movie was absolutely outstanding, and I feel no qualms. Without fear of contradiction, I could say this movie definitely gets an A+. So, guys, that was my review for Creed. Thoroughly enjoyed it. As always, guys, like this video if you haven't done so already. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's keep it going. And comment anything and everything down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And if you've seen Creed, tell me what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. And as always, guys, I've been Jason Black. You guys have been awesome. Take care.